Now, the former Director General, Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Chijioke Ekechukwu, now joins me from our Abuja studio to discuss more on this matter. Good to have you join us, sir. Now, let's start at first. Your reactions based on the CBN's directive, this circular. What do you make of it, talking about boosting local milk production and its derivatives?
The reason for CBN to have even banned the importation of, the use of foreign currency to import milk products before now, was aimed at increasing or encouraging local production, to increase the frontiers of local producers so that they can have more capacity and, of course, more market. So to now see that only 6 companies have been accepted to use their foreign exchange to import means that it's a step further to developing what they already started sometime last year. Now, but I expected CBN to have a level playing ground for all the importers, and so that anybody who is not even up to the size of the ones that have been accepted will also have opportunity, a level playing ground for everybody, while giving them a milestone in terms of when to stop importation in order for them to develop the local capacities that they have. But to select only 6 out of many others that are in importation means that you have not given others the same opportunity you have given these ones that you have selected. So the decision to do so is okay, but others should have been given a level playing ground. And there should be a timeline when the entire importation will stop. But of course, CBN also defended what they did by saying these particular companies they chose have shown commitment to start their local manufacturing and local production. That was actually the major reason for choosing them.
Yes, Dr. Chijioke, now you made mention of the fact that increasing the frontiers, broadening the scope, and also leveling the playing ground. Now, in terms of compliance now, the bank also advised importers not on this list of 6 cited in the circular to cancel or establish Forms M for the importation of milk and its derivatives for those that the shipments have not yet taken place. To what extent do you think this is a realistic approach to managing the situation and also encouraging local production?
Yeah, you know, when a decision like this is taken, it is obviously going to affect some businesses adversely. For those who have not shipped already, said, of course, if letters of credit have been established, obviously the cost is going to be high if it is cancelled, and the effect is going to be adverse on the business people and, of course, on the banks. So the extent of asking them not to cancel means that they should, just to make sure that people don't lose money, and then for people who have already established the relationship, they should go ahead and import and not to cancel anyone that has already taken off.
And also managing the deficit that we have in terms of milk production. We currently produce about 500,000 metric tons of milk annually, and it is expected, the projection that is in the next 12 months, that's later in the year, we would see an additional of 50,000 metric tons of milk added to that. But in terms of infrastructure, what sort of interventions do you now expect this time around to fast track the pace at which you have production, infrastructure, and the whole value chain? When we talk about processing of milk, you have cheese, you have milk, you have a wide range of dairy products to enjoy from, invest from, and make it a cash cow, so to speak.
You could see with this policy, a large number of milk producers are going to be emerging from everywhere. And the capacities of the ones that are already producing will expand. Government, through CBN, has made the credit facility available to expand the production of milk in Nigeria. So that means the milk farmers are going to be accessing these funds, and when they do, it's going to increase the capacity, and there will be a lot more producers coming into this particular sector. Let's not forget what happened to rice, and we expect that this will also happen to milk. And if it happens, then we're also going to pick some other agricultural products to do the same, so that we'll continue expanding our frontiers in agriculture.
Let's also talk about the quality of our livestock now. That has been quite a burning issue. Talk about graze and the quality of graze that they also have, ranching and a whole lot more. What are your expectations from the government this time around? Also, to be specific, to be detailed in terms of intervention with that respect.
Yeah, you know, one thing leads to another. Once we have started on a good pedestal, the next stage is for all the farmers to go and get the best yield, the best breed of cows and dairy animals that will actually produce the kind of yield. And the next thing is just for us to start bringing in the kind of breed that will turn around the production capacity that we want. For the equipment, these are all the things that will be acquired using the kind of facility that is made available by CBN. So it is just one stage to lead to another. I think we're in the right step. Production is going to increase by next year, just like they have estimated.
The streamline for this list of 6 is based on those who keyed into the CBN's backward integration program in order to enhance local milk production and capacity. What's also your word to other farmers, livestock farmers, and other value chain players who intend to go into milk production? What would you say is your advice to them at this point in time in terms of being strategic?
Yeah, everybody should key into the new area of focus of CBN. You know, every time you listen to CBN make their policy statements, people should pay attention to what they're saying. They have mentioned milk. They have also mentioned palm oil production. So, yes. So people in these production areas should actually pay attention and take advantage of whatever palliatives and whatever incentives they are offering to farmers in order to be part of what is going on. They should also belong to some kind of cooperative societies. They should belong to certain associations in order for them to have a voice in demanding for what they want in this sector.
And the channels of communication to also address bottlenecks in terms of funding, because at the end of the day, it's one thing to have all of this on paper, and it's a different picture in terms of reality as well. What's your word as well for government, for the CBN to leave the channels of communication open and transparent?
Yes, that is very, very, very apt to say. Many times, they should not just depend on TVs, or newspapers, or radios to communicate to this particular sector. They should have them in their clusters and address them directly, because as you are making announcements in the TV stations, these people are in their farms, farming, and so may not even hear what you're saying. So they need to, CBN and government needs to identify their clusters and address them according to whichever clusters and according to their various needs. The needs of people in one particular location may not be the same need that others in other locations may have. So address their needs according to their clusters and address them head-on.
Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Dr. Chijioke Ekechukwu, the former Director General of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry.